10 smash hit men's fragrances. These are 10 out of 10s for me. And there's a nice little mixture here because some of these got really popular, they got a ton of hype, and with that hype is going to be pushed back as per usual. The more eyes you have on something, the more you'll also get negative feedback on that thing because, well, a hobby like this is incredibly subjective. But not only do we have super popular hyped up stuff, we also have some things in here that are newer or maybe just didn't get that much hype, but to me, it's still a 10 out of 10. So I didn't just go down the list and choose all of the super popular things. I tried to mix it up a little bit and throw in some things that, you know, aren't in the spotlight 100%. So going through this here, a lot of these are going to be oriented more in the sweeter direction, although what we're starting off with and what we have in here and a couple other spots are going to be some fresher things as well. So again, it's just, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in here, and no matter what you're into, where you're at in your hobby here, collecting, you're going to find something that you're going to like. I will link these up down below so you can get them at a discount. I also encourage you to go take a look at my community tab, posting deals every single day, so you don't want to miss out on that for sure. I want to start off with, again, a fresher one, Prada L'Homme, the EDT. I think we can all agree that this is one of the popular hyped ones that I was referring to. Again, the video isn't filled with these, but to me, this is a 10 out of 10 because it checks off so many boxes, from versatility to mass appeal to uniqueness, right? It's using that iris and a fresh orientation here, which I like. What else? Even has decent performance given that it is fresher leaning. It's expensive smelling. You can get it for usually around $100. Right now there's some testers in stock, 100 ml testers for like $85. That's a great deal. So not cheap, but also not outrageously expensive. It just has so much going for it and a really nice presentation to top it all off. And judging just the scent alone, it's a 10 out of 10. I love this stuff, and I'm definitely not the only one. This got a ton of hype. Now here's one that doesn't really get a ton of hype because it's a niche scent, and this is a brand that's not really like Creed or Parfums de Marly. They're more mainstream, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just those brands really just do well with hype. I don't know exactly what it is about them. They've got a bunch of wearable stuff. They're definitely not cheap, right? But you can get them discounted pretty heavily. And you know, they're hype brands, niche brands. This niche brand isn't really too much of a hyped up brand, and it's actually one of my favorite niche brands. I've got a ton of them right there. Okay, I love them. I keep them on display there. Kilian Intoxicated. So I've got just about all of them, the Kilians and the main lines, aside from some of the more feminine leaning ones. I've got just about all of the heavy hitters here. Even stuff like Straight to Heaven Extreme and Straight to Heaven Oud and Musk Special Blend. Like I've got some of the rare ones. I love the line. I've searched far and wide for some stuff. Single malt, I ended up tracking that one down and paid a fortune on that, like $400 or $500 or something ridiculous. But I love the brand, I love what they do, and I love Intoxicated. Actually, my scent of the day today, sprayed it on this morning. It's now 9 p.m. and I still smell it on me. It's got coffee and cardamom and cinnamon and nutmeg. It's a coffee scent done in such a sexy and romantic and just alluring and addicting way. One of my absolute favorites, and as soon as there's a hint of cool chillness in the air, I'm reaching for something like this. Today it was like a high of 62 or so, cloudy, kind of a gloomy, rainy fall day, and so it was a great day for it, and we had the windows open all day. It's been chilly and working outside, so this couldn't have been a better choice for me today, and I love this one. I think this is a 10 out of 10 big time. Something a little bit newer, we have Stronger With You Oud by Emporio Armani. It's got vanilla, oud, and lavender is the only three they're giving us, but it's really all you need to know. There is like a chestnut accord in here. There's tonka bean, you know, it's got that Stronger With You DNA. Still very sweet, but the oud coming in gives it a little bit of a more grown up and more sophisticated variance. I really like that approach on this one. I think it's going to make it a little bit more appealing to the harder core fragrance enthusiasts. Now, oud enthusiasts are going to laugh at this, but you know, just for guys who still want something mass appealing, but with a little bit of a more unique approach for yourself to just make it a bit more interesting, this is a great choice. Every time I pick this up and smell it, I always question why I do not wear it more. It is Boss the Scent Private Accord. It's got ginger, maninka fruit, and cacao. So it's kind of chocolatey, dusty. Got this unique fruitiness from the maninka, and this smells divine, dusty, cocoa-y, powdery, chocolatey, sexy, smooth, and sweet. You're getting all this off the atomizer. When you spray it, you get a little bit of a sparkling, spicy ginger off the top. This is a great creation. I also have Boss the Scent Absolute. I prefer Private Accord. Private Accord is actually kind of synonymously my favorite out of almost all of them. Even the new Parfum that just came out, I just can't get away from Private Accord. I've smelled, a good majority of them, but this is the one for me. I love it. Every time I smell it, literally. I just think this is great. Jump over to another freshie. This is going to be not the last freshie of the video, but one of the last times I get to really talk about this one this year and now for several months going forward. It's Acqua di Gio Profondo. Mineral notes, sea notes, orange, all of that stuff. It smells great. I love this scent. I really absolutely love it. I think this is great stuff here. It's fresh and trendy and modern, and it's a different approach on an aquatic scent. Alberto Marias knows what he's doing at this point, big time, right? And it's cool that he's stuck through and made all of these fragrances for the line. And, it ties back to the original a little bit and then brings in its own unique twist with the mineral chords in here. It's very photorealistic smelling in terms of an aquatic, and I think that's great. And it smells fantastic in the summer heat. I could wear this in the wintertime. I could talk about it in the wintertime. No one's saying I can't, but this smells the best in summertime when you're in that summer mood and you've got some heat on it. It opens up, it develops, and it just puts me in a great mood. I think this was a great idea. The marketing behind this, the smell behind this is incredible. Love this one right here. La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Toilette, the original. Look at this tiny little, what is it? Ended up being a 40 mil. So not even 30, it's a 40 mil. I bought this because I was hoping, based off the picture, it was going to be like the old style, which, can I get it? I don't even know why I'm trying to do this because it's buried. Thought it was going to be this. This is a 40 mil, and I don't know if you can see that. 4-digit batch code. This is a first formulation La Nuit de l'Homme. So you can imagine I cherish this. I mean, you can even kind of see the coloration difference. I'm not going to get into it, but you can see it. It's just hard to show on the camera. Original La Nuit de l'Homme. That was what was in the picture. I ended up getting this instead, not original. This is a new batch, 38 UD 2EH, new, right? You can tell by just looking at it and smelling it. Still smells great. It's going to be a travel bottle for me, but this DNA, whether it's new or old, will always have my heart. I love this stuff. Love wearing it to bed. Love wearing it when I'm just hanging out around the house in the evenings. Love wearing it if we happen to go out to dinner on a date or something and I don't need performance just because it's the two of us, right? It's just, this is an absolute 12 out of 10 for me. I love this. This is a brand new bottle. It's a new batch. It still smells great. That bottle I just held up, that original 4-digit, isn't a performance beast either. So don't stress so much on the performance. People can't seem to get it through their head that this DNA was never strong to begin with. People never even smelled the original and they're complaining that it has bad performance and they think the original was some 27-hour performing thing. It's never been strong. This type of thing doesn't need to be. Also, really a big fan of this one. It can be a little bit tough to get sometimes. It sells out pretty quick, so watch the community tab. Fahrenheit Parfum. Love it. This one has the violet leaf, but then rum and vanilla. Great mixture, boozy, sweet, and also fresh. So kind of a unique approach. Still has some of that OG Fahrenheit DNA in here, that kind of gasoline smell, kind of ozonic. This is a nice sweet approach, great for fall, great for winter. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Now this one is not going to be a 10 out of 10 for a lot of people. In fact, this one is actually polarizing, which surprises me because it really isn't all that challenging. It's Dolce & Gabbana Intenso. The ratings aren't overwhelmingly positive. A lot of the comments I see are not overwhelmingly positive. It's got tobacco, lavender, and clary sage, very aromatic. And if you couldn't tell by looking at the bottle and the note breakdown, yeah, it is more traditional. No, this is not Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense or Light Blue the original, super aquatic and yay, everything's fun. This is more mature, more masculine. You would think that would be kind of written on the wall for this one, but you know, people don't look into it, they buy it, and they think it sucks. And maybe it does suck, you know, if you're not really expecting this. If you want a more traditional, masculine, and grown-up scent that's very aromatic heavy and a little bit smoky and just something different, if you want something different from a designer brand, this is it right here. This stuff smells really, really nice for those who are into this sort of thing. Second to last, we're going to end this on two more fresh ones before, you know, we really get into fall here big time. Terre d'Hermès Eau Givree, new release this year. Love the bottle, so it kind of has this brushed finish on the back, so on the front it's not completely see-through, and this might not show up well, but the cap has a brushed finish going horizontal all the way across, up and down. It's hard to see, it's on the side though. Tiny details make a world of difference on presentation to me. I don't need anything that's outstanding and loud, you know, like a lot of clone brands do. I just like minimalistic with small details. And the details on the cap is the perfect example of that. Just a nice brushed finish. You can kind of see it right there. I think it looks cool. And I think this smells great. Citron, juniper berries, and woods. So it's going to be the replacement of Eau Très Fresh, which they had to ultimately discontinue due to IFRA regulations. So they just brought this back, and kind of similar to Eau Très Fresh, but still different here. And I actually like this one better. I was super bummed out about Eau Très Fresh being discontinued. Try saying that 5 times fast. But now that I've smelled this and worn it a good amount, I got to say I'm not so upset anymore. I think this is the better scent. So scoop yourself up one if you can. Last up, a discontinued one that you can still buy and that I will always love because it's a good price. Wood Neroli by Bvlgari, possibly. Camera's mad because it's discontinued. You could still buy this one, 50 bucks or so. Woods, Neroli, but it's a sweet Neroli citrus accord with orange. Smells great, reminds me a little bit of something in the same vein as Xerjoff Kobe, even Xerjoff Neo a little bit with kind of the bergamot going on in here. But then Kobe has that sweet kind of bite, the Neroli orange, sweet bite smell. And so kind of fits into those. Those are expensive niche fragrances. They're 50 ml bottles and they cost, you know, 4 times what this does. And well, maybe not quite. 2.5 times, 3 times what this does, something like this. I can't remember what those even go for. Point is, they're more expensive. This is 100 mil and 50 bucks. So I guess actually if you factor in price per mil, yeah, a lot more. Point is, this stuff is great. Doesn't sell well because it's not super mainstream, but it is a really, really nice citrus fragrance for those who are into citrus fragrances. Alrighty, that's going to do it for me. 10 smash hit men's fragrances or women's fragrances. Some of these are unisex leaning, like that Kilian. Anyone could wear that if you like coffee. And I think these are great. Love them. Don't have any complaints with these, you know. They all just kind of have that little special thing about them that every time I smell it, I'm like, yeah, this is it right here. And that's something I don't come across every day, especially having smelled so many things. So I will link these down below. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.